Hello, welcome to our unique learning system language arts lesson. My name is Charlotte Lucas. I am an autism low incidence mentor teacher with Richmond Public Schools, and I am delighted to be able to work with you today. Today's lesson is part one of a two-part unit, which will focus on planning for the future. We will work together to use graphic organizers to make plans. The graphic organizers will help us to decide what type of job you may want. And then we're going to try and fill out a resume. All right, we've got a lot to do, so let's get to work. Let's start with planning for the future. And we're going to talk, this young lady is going to talk us through how she is working out planning for a job. She's got plans, she's got goals, she wants to earn some money and get an apartment. That's what it's all about. So Keisha will graduate soon. She's got graduation on her mind, but she's got some questions that she needs to have answered. What will she do? Will she get a job? Keisha will plan her future. Keisha's sister graduated. Ayana goes to college. She lives in an apartment. Keisha's brother graduated. Tom got a job and earns money. Keisha's teacher asks about her goals. A goal is something you are trying to reach. Keisha's goal is to live in an apartment. Keisha needs a plan to reach her goal. Keisha needs money to live in an apartment. She needs to get a job. All right, let's see what we can do. Keisha does not know what job to do. She can try different jobs. She will find jobs she likes. She will find jobs she doesn't like. And that's where it begins, guys and girls. We need to figure out, what are you interested in? Now, we're talking about graphic organizers today. We want to get organized. We want to stay organized, especially when you're looking for a job. And this is a graphic organizer. It has information that motivates you to think about the things that are needed for you to get a job, for instance. So, my interests are things you like to do. It is important that others know what your interests are. This will help them understand you and help you plan for your future. You really do need to know, what are you interested in. This is something to think about to help get you motivated. So, do you like working with tools? If you like working with tools in this graphic organizer, all you do is check a box. Check a box. Do you like to take things apart and put things together? There are lots of people out there who do that very well. And if you do, you check the box. Do you like to build things? All right. Think about it. Think about the things you're interested in. Do you like leading the group? Are you a leader? Do you like to write letters? Do you like to sell things? I used to love to sell things when I was younger in a department store. Do you like helping others? Do you like to meet new people? These are the things that you need to think about. Do you like to organize things? Do you like to make music or dance? Do you like to paint, draw, and create? Are there other things that you like to do? You need to think about these things before you start looking for a job. You can't just go out and walk into a job area and say, hey, hire me, I'm ready. You've got to think about what you're interested in, because you don't want to get hired for the wrong job. You want to make sure it's something that you're really interested in doing. And then, after you know what you're interested in, what environment would you like to work in? What environment? You have to think about that also, because if you're not comfortable where you work, you won't do a good job. So this is another graphic organizer, and it's designed to help you decide what your environmental preferences are. What do you prefer? Do you like to work in places that are clean, like an office? Or does it matter to you if it's dirty, like on construction? Okay. Do you like to work inside or outside? If you're not the kind of person who wants to stay inside all day, you really do have to plan to get a job that will keep you outside, like the postman. Does it matter to you if your workspace is loud, or must you be in a quiet place? These are very important things to consider. Do you like working with a lot of people or just a few people, or do you prefer to work alone? Think about that. That's really important. Can you lift? Can you get a job where lifting is involved, or is no, lifting is not something that you want to do? Okay, think about it. Do you want a job where you're sitting all day or standing up all day? If you're a cook, you're going to be a chef, you're going to be standing all day. So these are the types of things that you're going to think about, and this graphic organizer is going to help you to do that. Do you like staying in one place, doing things in a repetition, or do you like moving around? Do you like doing the same type of work, like on an assembly line? Or do you like doing different things, not the same thing all the time, doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that? Okay. Do you like work that's fast, like in a fast food restaurant? Or would you prefer to slow it down, keep it moving slowly? Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Do you require supervision, a lot of supervision or a little supervision? Do you need to be told how to do things? Or do you need to be shown how to do things? Do you need someone to tell you how to do it? Or do you need someone to just show it to you and you need that model and you can move on with it? Okay. Now, when you go to work, do you want to dress up? Do you want to wear regular clothes or do you want to wear just a uniform? See, these are the types of things that you have to think about. What environment do you want to work in? And it's very important. You have to stop and give thought to these types of things so that you try to get the best job for yourself. All right. Now you've gotten an idea of the environment that you want to work in, and you've also looked at the types of things that you're interested in. Because in reality, there are a lot of jobs out there. There are all kinds of jobs that you can think about. First of all, you could be a fast food worker, a grocery bagger. My son was worked in a grocery store. His first job, he loved it. You can be a gardener, where you're outside all day getting dirty. You could be a babysitter. That was one of my first jobs. A construction worker. You could be a librarian, and that's something I always wanted to do, was to be a librarian. It looks like a great job. You could do clerical work, sit at the desk, answer the phone, take notes, do files. That's a great job. A factory worker, that you'll be around a lot of people and you'll have a lot of people you can communicate with. How about an actor? That's a great job. You could take a ticket counter attendant, like at the movies. My grandson has that job. A hotel attendant, a car inspector, a bus driver. That's a great job. A medical assistant, where you're working with people and giving care. That is excellent. A housekeeper. That is a wonderful job to have. If you like keeping things organized, you can make a lot of money uh, in that job. How about a job garbage collector, clothing store clerk, or a museum tour guide? How about a recreation center assistant, a dog groomer, or assistant chef, a sous chef? Those are the types of things. There are a lot of jobs out there that you can do. There are a lot of opportunities. In fact, you could probably walk around your neighborhood and come up with even more types of jobs that you could have. And that will be wonderful, but you want to make sure that you have a good idea of what you want. And that's what the graphic organizers are all about. So now that you've made some decisions, you've gotten some information on what you're interested in and the type of job that you want, you're going to have to fill out a resume. Now, resume tells the person who's hiring you who you are, where you live, and very important information so that you can get a check. If they don't have this information, they will not be able to give you a job. So you're going to have to go about getting this information and learning it or having it available on a card ready for your to fill out your resume. So you can fill out a resume online or you can get a hard copy, print it out, fill it out, and take it to your employer or text it. I'm sorry, you could have it sent to your employer. All right, you will need to know your first, your middle, and your last name. Your middle name, not your nickname. You can use your nickname after you get your job, but you have to have your first, your middle, and your last name. You need to have an address, the number of your street, the name of your street, okay? And you need to know the city and the state that you live in. Now, I'm in the city of Richmond, the state of Virginia. Both of those things are very important. So you put your city and your state, and you can use an abbreviation for your state and then a zip code. All of those things are very important in order to fill out a resume. These are things that you need to have when you're looking for a job. You're also going to need your home phone number and a cell number. Now, your home phone number is usually your landline, and you don't have to have a landline, but you do have to have a number that is active and can be reached in case you get the job. So remember your cell number or your landline or both and have that ready. Your age and date of birth, all of that is very important. Your social security number. Now, you need to have your social security number. Usually it's on a card, but you never ever give anybody your social security number unless you know that it is safe and secure. If you're doing this online, it has to be on a secure website. And if you're giving this to someone, you need to make sure that you have it in an envelope, you give it to the person that is designated to receive it, and that it doesn't get into anyone else's hand, because your social security number is very important and you need to keep that to yourself. Okay? Don't give your social security out to everyone. Now, what school did you attend and when did you graduate? Now, you don't always have to have graduated to get a job, because you can get a job at age 16. So, if you haven't graduated, that's okay. I had my first job at 16 years of age. Yes, I did. Now, what type of work experience do you have? If you're still in high school, ninth, 10th, 11th, or 12th grade, you may not have a previous employer, and that's okay. But maybe you have some volunteer experiences. Volunteering is a very important thing to be able to do and to have in your background. You can volunteer at school, you could volunteer at your church, you could go into a facility near your home, at a recreation association or at a nursing home, and you can volunteer at your church. Those types of jobs are very, community work is very, very important and looks very good on your resume. So find yourself some volunteer work at all times and be prepared to list that information. And something that is very important are references. References are people who you have worked with that are willing to say that you have done a great job in that working with them, and that you have a great character. You're a good person. So your principal at your school, your minister at your church, if you have volunteered, the manager or supervisor that you've worked with, all of those people are available to give you a reference. And you should, wherever you work, you should always ask, may I have a reference before you leave so that you will have that available. So the resume is a very, very important part of getting a job. And to fill out a resume, remember there are two ways to do it. You can have a hard copy and fill it out, or you can do it online. Either way is fine, but in order to get a job, that's what you're going to have to do. So we have gone through the whole process of getting a job. Let's go back to our book and let's see. Keisha has good ideas for her plan. We've gone through several graphic organizers that will help you to decide what type of job you would like, where you would like to work, and how to fill out a resume. Now, Keisha will find a good job. Keisha's team will help her plan for her future. And your team is your mother, your parents, your guardians, a friend a child or a friend who has experience in this area, a teacher. These are part of your team, a guidance counselor at your school. These are part of your team that will help you to get a job. And believe me, everyone will be willing to help you to find your job. Ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. This is the time for you to start thinking about your job and start getting your interest in order. Well, this is part one. Part two, we're going to look at some more different types of jobs, and we'll look at some more graphic organizers to help you get started. You've done a great job today. We've learned a lot. Thank you very much. See you next time.